That's exactly what I've heard, and I've heard also that the incompetent leadership of the country doesn't enforce the laws. These rapists get away with rape because the soldiers and the police don't even go after them. Sometimes because they're not properly paid. Sometimes even rapes been documented as haven't been committed by soldiers. It's a very sad thing, and it's got to change. Now, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, around 2006, there was U.S. legislation that was initiated by Obama when he was a senator and passed into law during the Bush administration to aid the situation in DR Congo. Can you tell me what that is and a little bit about that and what happened? Because quite frankly, I don't think anything came out of it.
Exactly. The president, our current president, Barack Obama, when he was a senator, he wrote a piece of legislation called Public Law, which is called now Public Law 109-456. Actually, that bill was co-sponsored by Hillary Clinton. And the goal of that bill was actually the bill was called the Democratic Republic of Congo Relief, Security and Democracy Promotion Act. And the goal was just to end the atrocity that we're talking about in Congo. The bill was signed into law in 2006 by President Bush. But now President Obama is the current president of the United States. So one can wonder why this public law is not being fully implemented. What that law said, we're not going to go into detail, there's a lot of section, but one of the sections of that law actually give the Secretary of State the power to withhold the fund from first the Kabila government, the Congolese government, if insufficient progress is not being made towards achieving the goal that was set. Another action that bill does is for the Secretary of State to withhold the fund from countries that are acting to destabilize the Congo. Now, we have heard, we have read, and there's more than 70 pages supporting the document, photograph, showing that Rwanda is recruiting, arming a militia group in Congo. And we don't know why the government is not taking action. So we salute the government, the United States government, for withholding. They just cut. It's very symbolic. They just cut $200,000 military aid to Rwanda. But that is just, I think it's a message, yes, but we want to see more. We want that public law, like I told you, because the goal is to end the atrocity in Congo. I just gave you two elements that that law does. Withhold the fund to the Congolese government, withhold the fund to any country that is acting to destabilize Congo, and Rwanda is one of them. And why is it that this government does not fully implement that law? That is the question we are asking. And actually, we are. This is a request we are asking the government. We thank them for doing what they have done already, but much more needs to be done. Carrying military aid, just 200,000 is a symbolic. Somebody like Kagame, Paul Kagame, the president of Rwanda, that is maybe a message that he cannot understand. So if that law is implemented fully, and that is something that maybe Kagame can understand, because Rwanda does receive foreign aid, a lot of money from a foreign country, and that money help them, to live. So if they cut those funds, I think maybe he can consider not to go in Congo.
Thank you, Mr. Kamba. As I said earlier, this is only one of a series of many video interviews with you. Previously, we've discussed the history of Congo. We've discussed the natural resources. We touched on the political corruption. Today, we were talking about the rapes and the genocide, and then we went into this issue where the United States went so far as to enact a public law, yet they've failed to really act on it appropriately. And sadly, most Americans forget anything that's older than 48 hours that's been on the news, because our attention is basically media driven, and our focus goes from one issue to another on a day-to-day basis, and it's sad because people lose sight of other important things because there's other issues in front of them at the moment. So maybe we can do something to continue with this series, to raise awareness of what's going on in DR Congo, to basically to educate people so that they know enough, and then let them contact their own senators and congressmen. They can send letters, emails, whatever. They can write to the Secretary of State. They can write to the White House, whatever, and say, hey, what's going on with this? Are these things true? Now, during this series of interviews, we haven't yet provided a huge list of actual citations that people can go back and look up and authenticate everything that we've been talking about. But certainly anybody can go on the internet and Google what we've been talking about, and you'll see that what we've been discussing is all supported. In the future, I think that we can get into this even deeper, and we'll actually provide people with some of these citations and things. And you did it today by citing the UN report. And we did it with this legislation. So I think that this is only the beginning of raising people's awareness, and hopefully by people first understanding what's going on in Congo, that there really does need to be a change of leadership. There's massive human rights atrocities going on there. People, not just women, men are getting raped over there too. There's a huge number of male rapes over there. It's a way of punishing the ethnic people that really do seem to be the targets of a genocide. And genocide's a pretty strong word. We've heard about it in Darfur, we've heard about it in other places, but up until now, I've heard about it, but I'll bet hardly anybody else that I know, besides you, has even heard that there actually has been a systematic genocide going on in DR Congo with some of the ethnic people that live there. And much of this is directed from Rwanda, where there was a massive genocide years back, not that many years back, by the way, that absolutely shocked the world. Well, you know what? The numbers of people that have been killed in DR Congo exceed the number of peoples that were killed in Rwanda. And yet everybody knows about what happened in Rwanda, and nobody knows about what is going on in DR Congo. And that's why we need to continue this series.
Thank you.